Alright, what up? It's your boy DG.
And it's your girl Dom.
And welcome you guys back to, and we want to welcome you guys back to the hits.
The hit.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. First, we want to say a word of prayer before we get started. Father in heaven, we thank you for giving us another day, another opportunity for me to be with my beautiful wife, for us to share our views, share our thoughts on certain subjects, and be transparent about them. There is power in your transparency, and we just want to say thank you for this day. In your son Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, so what's been going on, babe?
Huh?
I'm jumping the gun, but for you guys who don't know us, my name is Darnell, this is Dominique, and we're just a millennial Christian couple striving to be the best that we can be. Marriage is only hard work if you make it out to be. We want to use this platform to talk about certain things that go on with us, and we want you to be a part of them, and we want to be open and honest about them so that someone else can gain strength, knowing that they are not the only ones that deal with the situation. There's power in your ability to open up and share. And with that, we welcome you guys to the pit one more time.
Yes. It's like ad-lib all up in there, didn't you?
Yeah, because I wrote it. So what? Oh, I forgot.
All that down. Anything.
You can hear.
You guys is.
Yeah, we don't edit stuff out, so we'll keep everything in there.
Oh well.
So yeah, how's your day been?
It's been alright. It was actually good because I got off early. So
Okay. Got off early.
got off
Yeah.
early, so
How's work been treating you?
it's been good. It's been good. I've been learning a lot. It's I'm growing. I'm getting better each day.
Mm-hmm.
So my manager sees that I'm getting a lot better. So I've been getting high praises. So that's a good thing. But it's been going good. Just trying to adjust to the hours. You know, coming from not so many hours to like a lot of hours. Trying to still adjust to that. And I know you're trying to. I feel like you're trying to adjust more than me.
Yeah, it's that's a big difference. I mean, when I was in a rental, it was a lot of hours based on how I was doing it compared to, just not doing anything at all, going from basketball to rental. So
Yeah.
for you being in rental now, it's crazy to see like that. But when I do come by to the branch and see you looking good in your little dress, and I just want
my
to
gosh.
throw that out
I
there.
know, you can talk about coming in and talking about, I would never really
I wouldn't be able to rent from you. I would not be able to rent from you because I wouldn't even be focused on the car. I'll be focused on that booty, dude.
That mean, okay, well, shoot, get all the protection.
You stupid. No, but other than that, what else is new? You good?
Yeah, everything is good. Nothing else is new other than that. What about you?
Okay, I'm just solid. Solid. God is good. God is good to your boy. I'll just throw that out there.
God's good to us.
Right. He is. Definitely is. But we wanted to like open up and start off with this one just a little bit lighter. We know we've been touching on a couple sensitive and heavy topics, and it was a little bit difficult for us to get through them. Obviously, when we talked about having a miscarriage, Dominique got emotional, and when we talked about my brother being killed, it was a little emotional for me. Those were definitely two different subjects that we both find very sensitive to us. So it was kind of difficult talking about them. So we wanted to come and have something, open up a little bit lighter. And the subject that we're going to be talking about today is like just who runs the household. I did a video the other day, and it was basically talking about, how do I want to say it? The sacrifices that a man should make for his wife, and it shouldn't be the wife just making all the sacrifices. And I did this video the other day, and I got a lot of responses. People hitting me up, and some people were saying that that's how it should be, and you should be able to rule in the sacrifice for your wife. And then I've heard other people and talked to other people about the fact that your wife should just do whatever you say no matter what. So we want to talk about it. It's not as heavy as a subject as the other one, so we wanted to just, talk about how we feel. So biblically, the household, the umbrella of your hushold, it should be God, the Father, Christ, your husband, and then the family under all of that. The husband, and then the wife, and then the family, the kids under all of that. And I agree with that. Obviously, it's the word, so whatever God's word is, that's what it is. But I kind of have my, I see it the exact same way, but I act upon it different. Some people view it a little bit different. Some people, take it to where they're like, because the wife is under the husband, because the kids are under everything else, that everybody should just do what the husband says, and it's a dictatorship. And I don't necessarily agree with that. What do you think?
I don't necessarily agree with either, just to a certain extent. I think just when you look at like the picture, I've seen the diagram, and it has like an umbrella, and then it comes down. And you just don't want anyone to feel like less than either. So I agree.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing that I would say with our relationship, I never wanted you to feel like you were less. I never wanted you to feel like you weren't worth, having a say so in the marriage. And I never wanted it to feel like it was a dictatorship. I never wanted you to feel like it was just me making all the decisions. I wanted you to for sure be a part of everything.
And I think you've never made me feel that way, which is good. Like even I think just in the beginning of the marriage, it was like I was like, I don't know how this is supposed to be. I don't know, but you didn't make me feel that way. It was like it really did go from like I, me to us, we. And that's what it was like. No, we need to talk about this. We need to figure this out. We need to go. Right. And so I don't think there has been a time where you made me feel like that. Yeah. Well, that one conversation that we had. Remember the one conversation that we had?
What conversation?
That real deep conversation that we had when we went to that buffet. That was it this year? This year.
Like earlier this year.
Yeah.
No,
it was last year. Was it last year?
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. Are you talking about the one where? Are you talking about the one where when we went to the buffet and you were like, you made me?
Yeah, that felt like that was probably the only time maybe
that you just felt like it wasn't a partnership.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Well, explain. Elaborate. If you brought it up, I feel like you feel like it's open.
No,
you might as well.
No, it was just because we haven't gotten to that part in our life yet. So I don't know if that's we haven't gotten to that part in November.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, well, long story short, Darnell, he was off from work for
I was on leave.
He was off work. Yeah, he was off work for a few months, and he was on leave, and he went from being at work every day to being at home, and I was at work, and it was like it was like I was still going to work. Well, I was already going to work, and I would come home and still do everything that I needed to do. So I would come home, work, and I would still come home, make sure I cooked, I tried to clean, do laundry, all that. Right. And you was at home all day. And you were literally
I didn't really do anything.
You were just sitting here on the couch playing the game or watching movies or TV.
Or working on music.
And I would come home and I'm like, could you have at least took something out for me to cook, or it would have been nice, because my mindset was, oh, he's about to be off for these few months. I get a break. I get a little break to be able to just let him take over, and I don't have to worry about so many things at work or when I come home. and it was the total opposite. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it was just like, and I think sometimes like men's mind, or I don't know if it's your mind or whatever, like when we talked and I said, you barely cooked, you cooked like 2 meals. You was like, what? I cooked all the time. And I was like, no, I would remember.
Right.
You made 2 meals during that 3 months. And I just felt like I was just like still, it wasn't a partnership. It was still just me still doing everything, and you were just expecting it to still be that way, even though you were off.
Well, it was more, to be specific, it was more of the role that you had. You feel like it was an expectation that role was going to be the same, even though now that I was at home.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
So when I was at work, I'd expect you to clean the house, wash the dishes, make sure everything was straightened out by the time I got home. Now I'm home all day, but I'm expecting you when you get home
to still do all the things that I was doing, but instead you're able to be at home and do all the things that you were expecting me to do.
Exactly.
And so when I go come home, I was just like, so my expectations was for the
roles to be reversed.
For the roles to be reversed for those few months, and then it was not.
Right.
And I was like, what the heck? And that's where communication comes in, because I didn't communicate that to you.
Right.
I just let it go on for those few months, and I just let it just pack on. And then I finally just like let it out once you were about to go back to work, and then that's when I told you. And then
right. That like correlates with the next thing that what I was gonna bring up was just like what are the dynamics of our relationship. And we get this a lot, like for that whole situation to have come about, I feel like looking back on it that there shouldn't have been anything that needed to be communicated. It should have been, I work all this time, you have a part-time job, and when I get home, I'm expecting you to do certain things and have certain things straightened up and all this good stuff. But then if I'm off and I have nothing on my plate to do except be at home, and now I have an opportunity to work on music or work on whatever, or just be home to do whatever, it should automatically be, okay, let me take some pressure off of you. Let me be able to do the things that I need to do in the house, so that now you have a load off. And the other part of it is now you really know, based on my actions, that I care about your well-being. Because in all honesty, and I'm sure you can speak on it, when women in the house and household in general, that could be a job all in itself, and that could be a frustrating job all in itself, because sometimes it feels like the man doesn't acknowledge it, the man is not grateful of it, the woman sacrifices so much, and the man feels like, well, that should be expected, right? Yeah. And I feel like that's why I don't think that it should have been communicated, even though we had to have that hard conversation with each other, and it didn't bring you to tears, it brought me to tears, because basically in that whole conversation, she hit me with a lot of things that were truthful, and honestly, the truth hurts. So when she hit me with, I expected this and I expected that, we were at a place where she felt like this was the main thing. And I'm one of the most observant people that you'll ever meet. Like, I pay attention to everything. And I remember I was on my way. I can remember the day that you sent it to me too, because I went to Carl's house. You sent me a Bible plan, and the title of the Bible plan was, "How Do I Save My Marriage?"
I sent that to you?
Yes. You sent me a Bible plan on how to save my marriage, and I saw it. And I accepted it, but I was on my way to Carl's house. I was on my way to Carl's house, and but I never got to it. And then for the next couple of weeks, if I'm thinking back correctly, she would ask me, "Hey, had you read the Bible plan?" "No, I haven't got to it." "Have you read the Bible plan?" "You're off." like, I'm
You
reading
ready
this
yet?
plan.
Ready
Have you
yet?
started it? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then when she hit me with all this stuff at the restaurant, I'm like, how did I not see that? And the stuff that she was telling me, how she felt and how she felt like she was in it all by herself. I wasn't there for her. I wasn't supporting her because she was working out. I was off and I wasn't helping. It hit me like hard. So I'm at the table and she's like, well, I didn't want you to cry, but it's like I had to really man up and be like, bro, you're not getting it done. And I pride myself on making sure that you're happy. So when that wasn't the case and looking back, and then I was like, yo, she really did send me a Bible plan on how to save my marriage. And I was oblivious to the whole thing. Like, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like there shouldn't be any, you didn't have to set that expectation because it should have already been there. I feel like as men, you should be so in tune with your wife to where some things don't have to be communicated. I think the saying goes, what's understood don't have to be explained. So it's like, that's an understanding that we should have. I should support you, you should support me, and we take on this load together. I personally don't believe that the man just runs everything and there's no say-so for the wife.
No, because... because there are certain things that you can do better than me, and there's certain things that I can do better than you. So just because...
I'm just playing.
You get on my nerves. So even though, like, in society, it's shown or it's seen that, no, the man is supposed to do all these things and the woman is supposed to do all of these things, or men are supposed to go to work and make all the money, and women are supposed to stay home, take care of the kids and the household and all those different things. But it's not like that.
Right.
It's not 100% true, because there are things that you're better at than me. Even though just because maybe you make more money than me does not mean that you are supposed to be in charge of the money. You can make more money than me, which I mean, you would think like the man, he makes all the money, he is in charge of it. He's supposed to figure out what goes here or there, or what I can spend, what you can spend, or if I actually gotta get something, just know, okay, well, he makes all the money, I can't get anything.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that if I'm better with money and I'm better with numbers and I'm better at saving, why can't I be in charge of that?
Right.
So, or why can't the roles be reversed and I work and I make all the money, and you stay home? If it works better for us, then it shouldn't matter.
Right.
So. And
the crazy thing about that is I got two examples for that. Based on what you said, is like it makes me think of my grandfather. My grandmother, she owned her own business when I wasn't even here yet. This was like a long time ago. And it was just her, my granddaddy, Punkin, and them were like in high school, She owned her own clothing business. And like, she made good money on the clothing business. And she always tells us how my dad, my grandfather, wasn't great with money. So he pretty much basically pissed off a bunch of money. So a lot of the money that was going, like that was earned, like the profit, sometimes he would go to the casino, or he would bet at the racetrack, or whatever it was. And that's not saying nothing negative about my dad. That's just proving the example that sometimes the man isn't the one that's making the most money, and the woman is. And just because I'm the head of the household, even biblically the head of the household, that doesn't mean that I'm supposed, whatever I say goes, because his decision with the money wasn't the best decision. So now they have to suffer and they lose out on their business because of the decision that my grandfather made with the money. Does that make sense?
And at the end of the day, if you just think that way, like, oh no, because he's the head of the household, like, no, he takes care of the money, then you're both losing.
Right, for sure.
You're both losing because...
Especially if he's not good with money.
Yeah, and especially if you see that too, you're acknowledging that that's what's happening, and you're just sitting back and letting it happen, then it's like you're both losing.
Right.
You know, so you're just letting it happen, and then you're both just broke.
For sure.
You know, or whatever the case may be in any type of scenario.
Right.
You know, so
I feel like it doesn't. Whatever your dynamic, as long as you look, this is how I see it biblically, right? Our foundation, the foundation of our faith is based on Christ dying for our life, for our sins, and he rose again and he's coming back, right? Mm-hmm. That's the foundation. There's the laws of Moses still apply, right? And the laws are set to keep us in line. So it's the same thing with the umbrella, right? Mm-hmm. God the Father, Jesus, the husband, wife, and then children under, right?
Yeah.
That umbrella is a guideline of that's the foundation of what it should be. Now, however you choose to be in that foundation, that's what it is. Like if that works for you, then let it work for you. It doesn't have to be one set way. That's how it is, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then you miss stuff, and then you both, like you said, you both end up losing out. And we know people who the wife works, husband stays at home, and that works for them. Mm-hmm. We know people where the husband works, the wife stays at home. It works for them. It's whatever works for you under those guidelines. But at the end of the day, the man should rule his household. But again, I still feel like it shouldn't be a dictatorship. If the wife is making, I don't think this is touchy, but if the wife is making a whole bunch of money, yes, I believe that the man should still make all the big decisions over the money if the decisions affect how we move forward together, if that makes sense. So let's say, for instance, you make more money than me, right? Uh-huh. And let's say you make 80,000 a year, and I make 40,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. Or let's say I don't even make anything. You make 80,000, I make nothing. Mm-hmm. And I stay at home, I cook, I clean, I do everything, laundry, all that stuff. Now, if you decide to go buy a couple blouses, does that affect me? Mm-mm. No. But if you decide to go purchase a car, but you know we're getting ready to purchase a house and you have to run your credit for that car, that affects us. Yeah. So that's where the man should be able to step in and be like, nah, that you don't need no car right now, even though it's from your hard-earned money.
But it affects
both of us, and it affects how we move forward as a family. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I completely understand.
So yes, the husband is still the head. Even if the wife makes more money, it doesn't matter. The husband is still the head. But we still have to be on the same page.
Yeah, that doesn't mean like you see biblically, the man is above everyone else. I make the decisions. This is what it is.
So it's not your money, it's my money.
It's not your money or whatever. Yeah, whatever the case may be. Right. It doesn't go like that. And some people will take that picture, that text, and just apply it and just say, this is what it is. So I'm the head. You're supposed to submit. You obey, and that's what it is. Right. You know, and
yeah, and it doesn't work. And me and Pumpkin had a conversation the other day, and we were just talking about, just relationships in general. And I was explaining to her, or just telling her in general, that this is the way I see it. I run my household. Can you attest to that? Mm-hmm. I make all the decisions. I have the final say so in everything that we do. However, I include Dominique and I include you in everything that we do. Why? Because if you're a leader, if you're a captain of a team or whatever the situation is, you have to make the person that's with you making decisions or that's under you, your decision that you're making, you have to make them feel comfortable in the setting that we're in. So I have to make you feel a part of the team. Now that's not saying, let me just ask you, how you feel about me doing this? I don't think you should do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway because it didn't matter. I just, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not asking, can I do it? I'm just asking you how you feel, and then I'm moving forward. Yeah. That doesn't work because now you're gonna get to a place where you're like, okay, well, if I ask you something, you're gonna be like, I don't know, whatever. And then when the woman gets to the point where she's like, whatever, that's bad. Like you're in bad territory. However, the way I think about it is, if I open up and say, babe, what you think about this? This is what I'm thinking about doing. This is the plan that I set for us to do. How do you feel? And you tell me like, oh, I never thought about that. That's a cool plan.
Mm-hmm.
What about doing this? Or what about doing this? And I'll be like, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. I can implement some of that in what I'm doing. Yeah. And I know people, and I've known people to have said, nope, whatever I said out, that's what we're doing, that's what we're rocking with.
Yeah.
But I don't work my marriage like that, because now we have to keep a smooth oiled ship. And in order for the ship to keep going, we both got to be on the same page. I can't be turning left and you're turning right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like, to explain it for a better term, is it has to be a partnership. It has to be together. It can't be one-sided, because then at the end of the day, when y'all grow old, even if you stay, you're gonna regret being with me. You're gonna feel neglected, and that's a whole lifetime's worth of neglect. You feel me? So like, that's where it can be tricky. That's why I said like, I do my thing, and you follow me, and I make sure that I'm a great try to be a good leader for you to follow me, but you're a part of every decision that I make.
Yep.
How you feel about you?
I agree.
That's submission at its finest. No,
that is not submission at its finest.
But I will say there are times where the man does have to make decisions without the wife. There are cases, but
what times are these, sir? I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I thought you were serious for a second.
No.
But I'll give an example. When Devontae died, me and our financial advisor Flo, we were talking about it, and this was my brother. You know what I mean? And we were talking about his funeral arrangements, and we were trying to figure out how we can help out. And by that time, you know, we've been saving for a house, and we've been, you know, putting funds aside, and we were like, yo, this hit us hard, but I was like, you know what, I want to relieve some pressure off of my mom, my granny, my aunt. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like this is a pressure. So what I did was, we talked about it, and we was like, how much can I contribute? We kind of discussed it. We threw some numbers out there, and we decided. And I was like, once he told me that I can do X amount, I was like, oh, that's done. We're doing it. And at that time, I was only thinking about my brother. I was only thinking about my family. I wasn't necessarily thinking about you, because we were talking about this a day after he was killed. So it was like, I was like, done deal. That's what we're doing. We're going with that. I'll let my grandma know, and then like whoever else, like, y'all don't gotta worry about nothing. I got it. And then whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna do it, right? And literally that night when Dominique came, I think you were at work. You came home from work, and we were all at my granny's house. And then I was like, it hit me right there when she walked up, and I was like, babe, let me pull you to the side. And I told her, I was like, babe, me and Flo talked about this. This is how he said that we can do this much to help. This is how much will come out of whatever savings account we had. I didn't talk to you about it. I apologize, but I really wanted to do this for my brother and my family. And you was like, boy, you didn't even have to say nothing. Now you're good. You know what I mean? So that just...
It was not expected. I wasn't going to be like... I was expected to just not like, oh, dang, it's a funeral, we can't pay for it. It was just expected that like if there was any extra help that we could give, then like, why not? Like, this is your brother, my brother. Why wouldn't we try to help in any way that we can? 100%. So I really wasn't. I was like, what? Like, I mean, I was glad that you still said something to me, but I mean, you knew. I mean, I'm pretty sure you knew I probably wouldn't have cared anyways, but it was just, you just communicated.
But I still had to acknowledge you in our partnership, in our relationship. And she was like, cool, like, yeah, don't even worry. But I had to make sure that you weren't a part of the initial decision, because I thought so fast and I was thinking so fast. Yeah. But at the same time, you are my teammate. Yeah, you're my right hand.
I'm your helpmate.
Okay, you're my helpmate.
I'm your helpmate. That's what it says in the Bible.
Right. So I had to make sure that you were a part of it, you know. So yeah. Now, Question.
What?
Especially for women out there. For you. Was it hard for you to submit?
Heck yeah. I'm just kidding. I hope that was not very loud on the mic. I said that very loud. No. I would say at the beginning, I feel like it was. Only because I wasn't someone that, I never said that I wasn't going to get married, but I wasn't someone that sat there like every day or like growing up dreaming about marriage and my dream wedding and the dress I was going to wear and who was my bridesmaids and what ring I wanted. I was never someone that thought that way. I never wanted to think like that far ahead. Right. I wanted to just live in the moment with whoever I was with.
Right.
And so, and if that time comes, it comes. So I never really thought about it. I was never taught much about it. I just knew, okay, the husband and wife, they get married and whatever the case may be. I didn't know all the different dynamics of it, what comes with marriage. Mm-hmm. And so once we got married and I started learning all these different things, and I was like, oh my gosh. Even though when we were dating, it was like it was almost like we were married, but we didn't have that title now. So now the dynamic changed. We weren't boyfriend and girlfriend anymore. Mm-hmm. I couldn't just say, oh, I'm flying home for the weekend or for Thanksgiving, and I just leave you and you go to your home or you stay there. It was like, no, if I can't go, we not going. Right. And I'm like, but no, I want to go see my family. It's like, well, we can't right now. We don't have the money or we can't just stand. I'm like, so I'm not going. And so it's like no, we need to do these things together. Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, what is this? Right. So I had to learn more, and so it was tough at first because I thought, to me, and I think a lot of people see it in the Bible too, when you hear that word submit, you think, I'm just supposed to listen to whatever it is that you say. I'm supposed to submit to you, and you are over me, and that's how it's supposed to be. And so, hearing that too, that's what I thought too. Like, when you hear you were supposed to submit to your husband,
you have no say.
I have no say. I am yours, and whatever you
don't talk unless you're spoken to.
You said that like you was
no.
Like you said it, and the way you looked at me like, you want me to talk it? Like,
right.
So yeah, that's kind of like what I saw it as and what I thought. And I mean, I know now that's not necessarily what it means, mm-hmm. but that's what I thought initially. Right. Now I don't think that way. Or, since then, now that I've learned more, right. That's not necessarily what I think now. Right. And it's not hard for me to submit to my husband because I follow you and you are the head of my household and you follow Christ. And yeah. So now I follow you because you're the head. Mm-hmm. And so that's how
right. And I feel like for me, I'll always, and you can agree or don't agree, even if you don't agree, we can figure it out and I'll try to work on getting to that place. But I've always felt like I was always taught by my grandmother. See, I grew up with women and I grew up around strong voiced women. So they would teach me they would teach me how to be right by a woman based on the wrong that was done to them. So growing up, I learned and I grew accustomed to making sure that my girlfriend, my wife, comes mm-hmm. first. And I wasn't dating people to just date them. I would be in long-term relationships because I felt like that was the right way to do it. I wasn't trying to date different people and just go move. Yeah. So when I ended up being with you, I knew you were the one. And then on top of that, I knew that this was the expectation for myself was to make sure that you always felt like you're number one. So your nickname in my phone was my number one in the beginning. And then it moved to Lola Divine, but I call you every morning, every night. You're the last person I talk to, first person I talk to in the morning, right? And then I wanted to make a point and effort to make you feel how important I felt that you were. And if I made you feel how important that I believed that you were to me, then it would make it super easy for you to follow behind me. Yeah. Because if I didn't make you feel like you were the queen of my heart and all the other good good stuff behind it, then you'd be like, why am I? You don't even love me like that. Why am I going up behind this dude? Why am I even here? Like, I don't even feel appreciated. I don't feel like I come first. I feel like everything comes before me. You know what I mean? So I hope I've done a good job in making you feel like it's easy to submit to me, because I try not to make it difficult. Now, if I was just making a whole bunch of bad decisions and blowing money and just different stuff that affects us moving forward together as a unit, then I can see that. But I believe that I've tried my best not to fall into that category to where I'm putting everything before you.
Yeah.
But like music, basketball, like whatever it is, I try not to put it before you. Obviously, that'll be the main thing of my life at the time or whatever it is, but I still make you feel and let you know that you're just as important.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much what it comes down to, the more you follow Christ the way that you are, and as long as you keep leading me and this family the way that you are, the easier it will be for me to submit. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, marriage is like we say, marriage is only tough if you make it out to be tough. You know what I mean? It's not all that hard. And I think the easiest part, what makes submission easy too, is just the trust. We trust each other, and she trusts me to make decisions. Like, again, bringing up the situation where I decided what to do with the money for my brother's funeral or my brother's death in general. The only way that she could be okay with that is if she trusted my decision, if she trusted me. Now, if she didn't trust me, now there would be a whole lot to that dynamic, and it would make it tough. Like, I don't know about that, because now us losing out on this money means that now I know you're gonna blow over the rest of that money that we have. You're not good with money, so now where do we go from here? So I don't trust that decision, because it's not a good move for us moving forward. But she had to have trust. I had to instill trust in her. I've had to show her that over the course of time that we're able to save X amount of money. I had to show with her that I'm good with that money, and for us saving that money for a time period, she knows that I'm better with money. So now I can make a big decision when it comes to money, if that makes sense. So
agreed.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we had today. We wanted to kind of talk to you guys. We'll be back real soon. We're actually going to be trying to have a guest for our next one. If we don't have a guest for our next podcast, then we'll have it for the one right after. But we'll come. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm excited for our guest.
I am excited for her. I'm excited for her.
It's gonna be a good episode.
I think it's gonna be really
you guys definitely tune in for that.
For sure.
It's gonna be a good episode.
And so a couple things that we need you guys to do. If you guys subscribed already on Apple Music, please go down to the ratings below and make sure that you click 5 star.
Yes.
Share it. Share it on Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform.
Share to your friends, family.
We love it. Friends, family. Open up the conversation with them and talk about it, and have them have a listen to the podcast. Create an open dialogue about it, so that, not just so that we can big up in our podcast, but everybody can, kind of get a different understanding of it. I think submission is one of the hardest things to talk about in the marriage, because until you talk about it, you don't really know how the other one feels.
Yeah.
You don't know if your husband feels like he should say everything and everything should go his way. And you don't know if the wife is not happy with the decision that you made, but it's been tough for her to submit. So, like, comment, and subscribe. This will be up on YouTube as well, if the video didn't run out like last time. But if like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us at Darnell and Dom on Facebook and on Instagram, as well as YouTube. Follow our YouTube page.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button and click that bell so that you can get notifications whenever we're on. And if you hadn't noticed the swag sweaters that we're wearing right now, shout out to my little big sis, because it's funny because she's small, but she's older than me by like 3 or 4 years. My little big sis, Miami Rosier, her actual name is Christina Rosier, but she has this clothing company that she started. It's called Swag, Students with a Goal. And their mission statement is that swag is designed to uplift the youth in various ways, implementing life skills, educating them, and motivating them to be the best that they can be in the community. We want our kids to know that education and hard work is the key to success. We empower our students to become better people as they grow in swag each year. So that's a nice little double entendre right there.
Yes, if you guys want to get some of their gear, go ahead and follow the swag page on Instagram. I think it's a really good thing what she's doing, and this just keeps growing more and more. Every time I see her post, it's just from beginning until now, it's growing. It seems like she's doing a really great job. So
for sure, if you guys want merchandise, especially the biggest thing that I love about it is that she's doing it like she's from the hood. So like she's empowering young Black kids that don't really have much guidance anyway. So that's that. And then shout out.
Thank you, Miami.
We appreciate you. We love you. Shout out to Wilson Financial. Our boy Floydell Wilson has if you're looking for financial literacy, we definitely have a website that you guys can go to, that you can subscribe to. You want to tell them about the website?
His website is Wilson Financial Management.com. That's Wilson Financial MGMT.com. And Wilson Financial exists to solve the critical issues facing our clients, both large and small. Our unique faith-based approach is not only what differentiates us, but also what makes us successful. We provide a broad range of services and solutions to help individuals and organizations facilitate change and achieve their vision. So check out Wilson Financial's Instagram page as well, Wilson Financial, and their website. If you do need a consultation, if you want to get some more information as far as how to save, taxes, all those things, hit him up, Floydell Wilson, on those social media pages as well too, okay?
For sure. And last but not least, if you need a place to worship, we're actually having Bible study tonight. You guys are more than welcome to come out. We'll be at 5050 South Hoover Street, Carver Church, Los Angeles. We are under a dynamic pastor, a dynamic brother of mine who knows his word in and out. And he is always striving to be the best teacher that he can be. And he's not one of those preachers that just read one line out the Bible and then just talk about whatever he feels like the need to talk about that day. He's actually preparing all week long, and I can attest to it because there's been times where he wouldn't go out somewhere with me because he's, he's studying and making sure that he's well prepared for Sunday morning as well as Bible study. So y'all come out and be with us, but we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. No matter what, always remember Jesus loves you.
What? You started that off wrong.
I said no matter what, always remember.
There you go.
It's the same thing.
No.
Okay, I'm done. I don't
always remember. Go.
I don't want to say it.
Always remember.
And I don't want to say it.
Say it.
I don't want to say it.
Always remember.
No.
Always remember Jesus loves you.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you say.
No matter how you feel.
Always remember, Jesus is real. Jesus is real.
All right, y'all. We love y'all. Holla. Stupid.
Jesus is real. Jesus is ribs.